Kansas and Duke.
Duke starting off in man-to-man, and the key matchup is right with the ball out front. Devon Dotson, number 1, going against Trey Jones, number 3 in white.
Marcus Garrett drives and misses, and here comes Duke. And Duke starting Jones along with Jordan Goldwire in the backcourt tonight.
That's an excellent defensive backcourt. The issue is how many points can they score, and will they be able to stretch the defense?
That is Matthew Hurt, one of the prized freshmen of the Duke program. Misses when Kansas goes big, and they're big right now with David McCormick out there. It's a challenge for Hurt on McCormick. It's a challenge for McCormick on Hurt. And how about the backdoor feed as Azubuike finds O.J. Abaji, and Kansas scores first.
Just a beautiful backdoor, taking advantage of the overplay and eliminating help. That's what Bill Self and his staff work with their team on in order to take advantage of Duke's pressure defense.
Stanley and Abaji, two great athletes. Stanley, no. And the rebound is ripped down by McCormick.
Boy, how about that outlet pass by McCormick?
A Kansas team that had won 14 consecutive Big 12 regular season titles until last year, looking to start a new streak this season.
A really good defense by Cassius Stanley to come over from the weak side and take that pass away.
Dotson is second game tonight. Can't get much better than that.
Well, Cassius Winston, I think the best point guard in the country all around. The best passer, can score.
Hurt, step back over McCormick, and he knocks it down.
Boy, what a beautiful shot by Matthew Hurt. There you can see his versatility. Got right into the chest of McCormick, kind of knocked him back, and then faded away.
McCormick not looking for that 17-footer. They're going to pound it in at every opportunity to Azubuike.
Azubuike double-teamed when he caught it. He's got to do something quick with that. Kick it back out in the immediate attack.
Garrett. And remember that point last year, they had some injuries. Garrett became a much bigger part of the offense, mostly doing that, getting downhill.
Well, he's a right-hand driver, and he oftentimes will drive off of Devon Dotson's penetration. But you got to take that right-hand drive away from him.
Hurt for 3.
Boy, how good is that? I mean, just a little jab step and knocked the shot. Now, the first shot he took almost broke the backboard, and the last 2 have been spectacular.
So he's gotten over the jitters. Took him about 30 seconds to get over the jitters.
Yeah, he got over in a big way, but you're going to see a lot of that. He just knows how to play.
And he was heavily recruited, well, by everybody, but Kansas, a guy who can score from 3, they can start him off at the elbow, run some offense through him there.
Here's the other guy at the elbow, Vernon Carey, a lefty who can play both inside and out.
6'10", 270, but with some range.
Wondered where the points were going to come from. Looked like they found it.
Dotson turns it over. He's caught behind the play. 5-on-4. Trey Jones pulls up for 3.
Well, Dotson looked like he tried to seek out contact instead of just lay that ball in with your right hand. Why are you trying to go to the other side when you're going into the contact? Take the easiest path and the easiest shot. Here comes the double team. Good dive.
Smaller lineup for the first time with DeSosa the 5 and 4 basically perimeter players out there along with them. Cassius Stanley got a Cassius in each game tonight with Winston coming in game 2.
Zion Williamson last year broke a record for vertical leap with 45 inches. And the record seemed like it wouldn't be broken. It's broken in a year by Cassius Stanley, went 46.
Yeah, you can say it. Zion Williamson broke your record.
More players available. Maybe it'll be different this year throughout the course of the year. But my guess is it'll be trimmed down a little bit.
Christian Brown, a freshman from Burlington, Kansas, into the game for the Jayhawks. Nice save by Stanley. Penetration in the lay-in for O'Connell.
Alex O'Connell is a big key to Duke's success this year because he shoots the ball so well. He's a good athlete, and he's got experience. He's got to play consistent minutes if Duke's going to be a top team.
Brown driving on Hurt, forced it up, and the rebound to Carey.
So far, Duke has forced Kansas into some uncharacteristic shots and some bad ones. Looked like a walk there they got away with.
And Goldwire will reset. So no Trey Jones in the game right now.
Really, Duke's pressure has affected Kansas. They've not gotten the shot they want.
Carey,
a very long list. Like Trey Jones and Jordan Goldwire, neither one of them are really consistent perimeter shooters, but they're just so good defensively, as they've proven early on in this game. I'm just trying to spread it out, go with a little ball screen continuity.
It's one of the mysteries we're not meant to unravel.
This has been a turnover fest. An absolute turnover fest.
O'Connell the steal, Jones the lay-in, 2-point game.
That is 12 turnovers now for Kansas. And when Kansas's big guys have been handling the ball, it's been turnover. The pressure has really been difficult for Kansas to deal with right now. Off the ball, Devon Dotson working off the ball, and Garrett handling it and turns it over again.
Fortunate to get it back. Trying to get Trey Jones away from the ball pressure, but that means not giving the ball to Dotson.
Double team, almost another walk.
Dotson inside, McCormick left hand, and it spins off the rim. Abaji. And the finish not there for McCormick. Azubuike, no. It's still loose and live, and final. Looked like McCormick tripped over the right knee of Delorier, but it goes as a travel on the Jayhawks. O'Connell can't get the shot off. Now Delorier. Carey inside.
Wound up walking or tossing it away.
And again, first game, right? Everybody's adrenaline is pumping, trying to do a little bit too much maybe against very high-level competition for both teams.
Well, it's a personnel issue too.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing two bigs, you know, Duke's pressure with their athleticism and ability to get into these guys has really caused Kansas a lot of different problems.
And how many years did we see a Bill Self Kansas team use the two bigs and use it with great success? But the game has changed, right? It's evolved a little bit from where it was 8-10 years ago.
Offensive foul. Necessary or excessive. So he gets surprised again in a good way.
Carey going right at Azubuike, and the follow by O'Connell.
There you see the athleticism of Alex O'Connell coming in from the perimeter. Nobody laying a body on him to box him out.
We're tied at 22, the fifth tie here in the first half. Abaji over the top. Good help there by Jones.
And that's where Azubuike, he had an opportunity there to tear the rim down. He brought the ball down. He's got to keep that higher. Kansas did a better job of spacing the floor to get him isolated.
And O'Connell knocks down a three. What a good sequence for Alex O'Connell.
That game.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
game.
a great game.
Congratulations.
But why isn't Penn State getting more love? They're undefeated.
Well,
we have some teams that are undefeated that aren't getting that love.
Great question. I think Penn State could be. Chris Felica, the Bear, he thinks Penn State could maybe be in the top 4 because of their strength of record. You know, all the metrics tend to favor them. So that kind of creates some of the drama tonight is to really see. We assume LSU, Alabama, Ohio State, and Clemson. You never know. Penn State could be up in the top 4. That's all I got for you.
Repeat after me. Udoka Azubuike.
Okay, 35 blue.
That's a smart man right there. Thank you, Holly. Great stuff. And looking forward to the reveal coming up between
That they're
again, Goldwire and Jones starting in the backcourt.
He's going a little double stack low and then isolating Carey in the post. He's got to get the ball. He was open early.
Azubuike starts the second half with 2 fouls. Carey almost turned it over.
Well, that was a really nice.
Big as Carey is, he's given up some size when he's trying to back down a guy like Azubuike.
There's shit go up. He doesn't need to dribble.
McCormick, tough catch. And tough finish.
Well, Kansas seems like they're resolute to get the ball inside. Try to put some fouls on this young Duke team and play from in the paint back out.
Matthew Hurt thinking about it and eventually just buries the 3. And here's the challenge for McCormick, having to guard out to the 3-point line.
Boy, it'd be a challenge for anybody. That little jab step, you move back a little bit, and Matthew Hurt's just going to pull up. It doesn't have to be a big move, but just gets you a little bit off balance. Nice dive.
Another touch, but an immediate double team.
Kansas has to keep better spacing, keep the floor spread.
Garrett behind the back and still gets it up on the rim, but it won't go down.
A good drive, but that time he had to do it to his left. He is more of a right, more comfortable as a right hand.
Jones goes left. Won gold in Canada the summer before last and self-recruited him hard, but one of the reasons evidently Hurt chose Duke was when Trey Jones was coming back. They had a relationship, both guys from Minnesota, and one of the reasons why Hurt chose to go to Durham.
Well, Kansas doing a better job keeping the floor spaced and moving the ball from side to side and taking advantage of some switches.
Hurt again, the kick to Goldwire. Goldwire had some good games for Duke last year. Remember the big comeback against Louisville and also against Carolina in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, Louisville only played about 10-12 minutes, but had about that. Kansas trying to not attack on the first side, but it's going to be second, third side.
Another backdoor cut. We saw that in the opening couple of minutes of the game.
Trying to take advantage of the overplay. Just get up into a little 1-4 set, eliminate help, and you got to have more pressure on the ball to take away that pass. Just a beautiful little pocket pass by Udoka Azubuike.
And again,
got a switch.
When Kansas hangs on to the ball, they're doing some good things.
Yeah, but they haven't been able to hang on to it, obviously, with almost 20 turnovers.
How about Goldwire looking for his, misses the three. The long
Chai Abaji with the easy dunk. Was wide open underneath.
Azubuike eventually finds McCormick. They had to work hard, but they combined for a bucket.
Nobody rotated down, and Kansas able to take the lead, even with all these turnovers. Now Kansas resolute to get the ball inside. Use these big guys.
And Mike Krzyzewski's getting ready to bring a little more experience into the game. The drive by Hurt, the follow by Hurt. Kansas ball.
I'll tell you, they didn't get a bucket there, but Matthew Hurt knows how to play.
Nobody's guarding the big guy. Azubuike beats Duke down the floor.
And Duke not going to call a timeout. They're getting close to a media timeout. Mike Krzyzewski's just going to play through it.
Hurt wide open, around and out on the three.
See if Kansas tries to go inside again.
Good ball movement. Abaji with a high arcing three, and it's 11-0 run for
The game.
Carey Jr., one of the freshmen, is back into the game for Duke.
Duke trying to set some ball screens, get Azubuike out on the floor.
O'Connell the drive.
Got away with a couple of the feet there. Good defense by McCormick.
Carey's open and will take the three. A much-needed bucket for the Blue Devils.
Well, he had plenty of time, because that's why you want to put these big guys from Kansas in ball screen situations, because they've got to cover so much ground. So McCormick is out taking the ball, and then he's got to recover all the way to Vernon Carey, the lefty.
And Aruna had some good moments in the first half for the Jayhawks. McCormick, what a fake. And fouled.
He went 10 games or so without knocking down the three.
How about that?
Much more confident this year in his stroke. He's also a very good shot blocker. But having his experience on the floor is going to be important for this Duke team.
How about getting knocked down, getting cut, going back down? Can't trust him to knock down free throws. Does make one of two. And the lead is 4. O'Connell. Boy, Azubuike can clear some space under the rim though. And above it.
Awful lot of dribbling. And another leaving the floor to pass. And Aruna did that in the first half, turned it over. That might be the first turnover for Kansas in the second half.
It is.
What a difference to go 8 minutes without a turnover.
After coughing it up 18 times in the first half. Jones cradles, left hand, got away with it, but doesn't get the bucket.
Azubuike's got to stop and post there.
Great young players that Penny Hardaway's bringing
Well,
up.
Penny Hardaway has nothing but young players. He's got the #1 recruiting class in the country, led by James Wiseman, who can really play. But the best freshman in the country, that's 3 turnovers in a row now. I think Kansas needs a timeout to talk about this a little bit.
And an 8-1 run for the Blue Devils has brought them back within 2 after Kansas had been so good for the first 6 minutes or so of the second half. Garrett turns the corner, gets cut off by Jones.
Nice pass.
Abaji from the corner.
That was the shot they wanted. They couldn't get something good. What another pass.
Wow. Jones to Stanley again.
Like that.
The first game of the State Farm Champions Classic, Duke on a 10-1 run.
Kansas needs to get a good shot here. It has been back to the turnovers.
Jones sniffing out that back door right there, so Garrett takes it himself.
Much better job of keeping the floor spread and then attacking. Getting some backdoor cuts and then following it. Garrett is such a good right-hand driver. You have got to make him go left. He can go left, but just not as comfortable. And Carey needed to get the ball. He was wide open.
Stanley got
To tell what's going to be Duke's best combination in a given game, but they certainly have a lot of options. It's just you don't have the option to just put the ball in somebody's hands like you did last year, and you know, Zion Williamson or R.J. Barrett are going to get you a bucket.
tipped away by Stanley, recovered by Dotson. In and out on the three. Look at the rebound by DeSouza. And
It's an invasion.
his invasion was so first half.
Boy, Anaruna should have been able to shoot the gap and take that the other way.
Good help. DeSouza came over to help Abaji. Kansas comes up with it. And oh, what anticipation by Jack White at the other end.
Well, the pass was too late. And Jack White read it beautifully to take it away. That should have been a bucket for Kansas. Instead, it turns into a three-point shot by Cassius Stanley and Duke. What a turnaround. A 5-point swing.
I would think Duke fans who have not seen these freshmen play at all yet are probably pretty excited about what they're seeing from Cassius Stanley right now. And that 8 over Duke. But again, taking far fewer shots because of those turnovers. Abaji from the corner. And now Duke with a chance to retake the lead.
Not a bad shot, but you just don't want to settle for jump shots. Get the ball inside.
Carey fouled.
Those is rust. He just hasn't played in a long time.
Quick inbounds play, and O'Connell's headed to the free throw. Here in Chicago.
Well, with Reese Davis on SVP, that is a lot of hair product on the SVP show. Not used to that much product.
No. Tip no good. And DeSouza excited to play in a game of this magnitude, in an event of this magnitude at the beginning of the season, but also, you know, wondering what they're going to see from their teams playing such a good opponent right out of the chute. Carey banging with Azubuike, and it goes to 4. So 3 on Azubuike, but he sits down nonetheless.
Little horn set, 2 guys up top, 2 in the corners. And Kansas just going to come back out with a high ball screen.
Dotson fortunate to find Garrett.
Well, the pressure is really bothering Kansas. Everything's been one-on-one.
Dotson just cannot shake Jones. Elbow jumper not there for McCormick. Abaji rejected by White.
Well, we talked about Jack White and his defensive ability, and there's the block shot ability that he's got.
What a rebound by Carey. And going right back up, had it knocked away by Anaruna. Now numbers for Kansas.
Good pass by Anaruna to get it out of his hands early.
Abaji has it taken away. Another Kansas turnover. Numbers for Duke. Jones off the inbounds play, short on the jumper.
Good defense by Devon Dotson. Just a challenge shot by Trey Jones, not the best that Duke could have got.
And McCormick called for
7 minutes. It's been back to what was going on in the first half, which is coughing the ball up like crazy.
As you can see, 25 turnovers committed on the night. Knocked away by Garrett. Abaji out ahead of the pack, and what a recovery by...
Duke's had some success getting the ball inside to Carey. There they go high-low.
White for 3.
Well, took advantage of McCormick, got the shot they wanted. That was really well executed. And just in and out.
Both of the big guys, Carey and Azubuike, doing a nice job passing out of the post as Kansas gets back within 1.
Well, and you have a threat like Jack White can knock down that 3. Kansas, when they go high-low with 2 big guys, don't have that threat. And so Duke's got much more space to be able to pass the ball. And McCormick doesn't want to get out and pressure Jack White because he can go by him.
Jones the drive, cradles, banks it off the glass, but no good. And another good outlet by McCormick. You know, Abaji, I don't think he saw Azubuike racing down the court to his right. Might have had the big fella for a dunk.
How do you miss something that big?
I know. 7 foot 270, rumbling down beside you.
I can see how you wouldn't be able to see Devon Dotson maybe, but you should see Azubuike. See, McCormick was wide open. Azubuike didn't even look.
Shot clock running down.
Didn't get it.
And they're up by 2, and they're on their feet.
27 turnovers, up by 2. I don't think that's ever been said in a game before.
Carey going to work.
Got the foul on as a Von Dotson, here he is, comes back and gets the ball. He's got to run the point. He's been looking to get down the floor so he can try to get some early offense, but he's got to run the team. Got the switch, now he's got Hurt on him.
Long jumper, McCormick won't go down. Corner three and a big one for Hurt.
He is a difference maker. I think this last 340, Duke's got to look more to him to let him touch the ball and let him take on one of these Kansas big guys, make them guard him.
And McCormick having trouble staying with him out beyond the arc. Garrett the drive. The timeout came at a good time for KU. 1 of 2 to tie. Well, somebody's getting a loss here tonight, but you can't lose a season in one game here in college basketball, and that's what makes this event so great. I mean, remember last year, remember what happened to Kentucky here in this event in any Big Ten, and they could wind up playing Kansas out in Maui. So they might play all 3 other programs who are here in the first as well. Inside 3 minutes to go in a tie. Dotson gets by Jones and lays it in with a left hand.
Boy, what a beautiful drive and finish. Just bounces off of people and will not take his eyes off that rim. Just a beautiful left-handed layup.
Hurt little stutter step, kicks it out.
I think Hurt's got to touch the ball more.
Stanley driving by Abaji, and he answers. And points in the second half alone for Cassius Stanley tonight.
And now where does Kansas go for scoring? Trying to get the ball from side to side. Here's the matchup we wanted to see. Trey Jones on Dotson. Dotson almost throws.
4 to shoot. Dotson the drive. Off the glass again. No good.
And Dotson out of the play. Duke's going to have an advantage here. Need to take advantage of it. There it is.
O'Connell. Great rebound by White. New rule this year. Offensive rebound. Shot clock only resets to 20.
Just like the FIBA rule where it resets to 14. The logic there, you don't have to bring the ball up again.
Pull up Jones. What a bounce.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a little fade screen here. Some action where Kansas can get a shot off the fade.
Garrett the drive. And he gets the bounce to make it a 1-point game.
Boy, and that was a tough left-handed drive. Usually Marcus Garrett more of a right-hand driver. That time putting it on the deck with his left for the finish.
Jones with the ball, and we near the final minute of regulation in a 1-point game. Got the switch. Carey surrounded. White going for it. Kansas has it.
Well, Carey just needed to go up stronger. He had a 6'1" guard on him and wasn't able to finish.
Ball screened by Azubuike. Dotson gets the switch.
Oh, what a great play. Bad pass, but a great play by Jack White. That's his second steal of this second half. We've got a very athletic lineup out here. Jack White playing the 4. There's the drive.
Garrett, the force, and if it presents itself. Garrett driving on White, sheds him, partial block by Carey, follow no for McCormick,